Hello, this is Adam Bernard with AutoPerspectives, and it's once again time to look at some of the more interesting stories we saw in the auto industry last week, with a focus on 3 global debuts at the New York Auto Show. Welcome to my new subscribers, and of course, as always, if you like what you see in here, please subscribe and share. Subaru's Trailseeker was teased before the New York Auto Show, and a lot of us, including me, expected this to be a new, smaller, more affordable EV because we know that Toyota and Subaru had announced they were working on this. As it turns out, we were all a bit surprised because this is not a smaller vehicle. It's actually a bigger vehicle than the existing Solterra that you see there in white. This is kind of like a Grand Solterra or Solterra Plus. Its position is a midsize entry, whereas the Solterra is a compact entry, and it shares the platform, battery, front end sheet metal doors, and interior, at least as far as we can determine based on a visual inspection, with the Solterra. What they've done is they've added about 6 inches to the rear overhang. They've raised the roof about 1 inch so you get more cargo space. They've also upgraded the motors, while the Solterra gets a new 338 horsepower twin motor drivetrain as part of its upgrade. The Trailseeker now goes up to 375 horsepower, making this the fastest Subaru ever. It's also capable of towing 3,500 pounds, although the overall range is limited to about 260 miles, while the Solterra hits 285, and that's basically because the Trailseeker is a bigger and heavier vehicle. Now, you'll note that the Solterra now has all the body color fascias front and rear, while the Trailseeker has a lot more flat black trim, and that's to emphasize the more off-road oriented nature of the Trailseeker, and also helps differentiate the vehicle from the Solterra with which it shares so much otherwise. It does have standard X mode with multiple off-road driving modes. You can see here it's designed to be kind of dirty and go anywhere. It is obviously a little boxier and more upright. The interior materials include recycled plastic, and the 14-inch touchscreen that you see here goes into the new Solterra. There's a squared-off steering wheel, which improves visibility of the instrument cluster, which continues to be mounted up against the base of the front windshield. So overall, kind of a quick and dirty approach to add a new entry to their portfolio. The relationship between Trailseeker and Solterra is not unlike the Chevrolet Blazer and Equinox EVs, sharing platforms and a lot of powertrain components, but with some visual differentiation. This vehicle will hit the market in early 2026, so we don't yet know anything on pricing, but it looks to be pretty true to the Subaru brand and not an entirely unattractive vehicle. And we will contrast the Trailseeker with the new Subaru Outback, which was also unveiled in New York. The Outback is actually a 30-year-old nameplate. And if you recall, the original Outback was basically a butched up version of the Subaru Legacy sedan turned into a station wagon. And the Legacy sedan is now pretty much part of automotive history. So the Outback is kind of a standalone entry, and arguably that gives Subaru a little more leeway from a design standpoint. Unfortunately, most of the feedback on the new Outback has not been really that positive, and I confess I can't really disagree. It still looks like a wagon, which is not a bad thing, but it's really boxy and aggressive. And to be honest, it looks like somebody might have raided the bin for the Pontiac Aztec cladding, because there is a lot of matte black plastic. And I know that does help protect the body, and it does make it look more rugged, but you can also go a little more overboard here. It is taller and roomier. There is more cargo space. Unfortunately, compounding the design issues is the fact that the powertrain is largely unchanged. Either a 2.5-liter boxer engine or a 2.4-liter turbo. No significant increases in power or capability, and there's also no electrification available. So that's pretty much what you're stuck with. There is a small bit of hope on the inside. This is probably the nicest Subaru interior that's out there at the moment. It does have a new landscape-oriented touchscreen with a faster processor and a new Android infotainment system, but it does include physical controls for both audio and climate control. Subaru also now has hands-free driving available up to 85 miles an hour, which is something comparable to Blue Cruise from Ford or Super Cruise from General Motors. It also has emergency stop assist, so if you, the driver, suffer some sort of medical emergency and the vehicle detects that you are not responding, it will automatically pull over, which is kind of a nice thing to have. And like the Trailseeker, the Outback comes standard with X mode with multiple off-road modes. This vehicle will hit the market later this year. Price to be determined, probably not too much above where the current Outback is positioned. Genesis got off to a slow start from a brand standpoint. They launched with a couple of sedans in a market that liked SUVs, and they launched without their own dealer network, which meant that people were sharing space with, people that wanted to buy Hyundai Accents and Sonatas. Genesis has kind of gained some street cred over the past few years, at least within the automotive media. They probably don't still have the recognition that a Mercedes or an Audi or BMW has, but they're working on it. And we thought they would be bringing the new GV90 to New York, which goes on sale probably around the end of the year, or perhaps the X Grand Coupe and convertible that were unveiled in Korea. But they completely surprised us with the X Grand Equator. And this is described as a vehicle targeting the overlanding market. So kind of off-road oriented. It's definitely a little more rugged and butch than the existing Genesis SUVs. It does have the signature two-tone lighting units front and rear. Underneath, it's a little vague. We don't really think this is a running vehicle. Genesis has hinted that this could be built perhaps off the EV9/Ioniq 9 architecture. It doesn't have a grille up front, which strongly suggests that it's an EV. But Genesis has also hinted that the production version could offer an extended range EV, which we know is a technology that Genesis and Hyundai are developing. You see, it's got a pretty dramatic dash to axle with the front wheels pulled pretty far forward, more reminiscent of a classic rear drive architecture, but again, don't know what's running it. It's also got a pretty stiff windshield, and you'll see a fairly aggressively sloping backlight. Those are 24-inch wheels, which really does a nice work there on the stance. There's a split tailgate out back with chairs integrated in the lower portion of the tailgate. Inside, the center stack gauges were inspired by vintage camera dials, and your eyes do not deceive you. There are no screens inside the vehicle. This is very, very analog. And with lots and lots of physical controls. And we saw Scout do the same thing with their vehicle that they unveiled last year, the Traveler and the Terra. The interior design features bold geometric shapes. It's not really organic at all. There's lots of little storage pockets, bottle holders in the back seat as well. So if Genesis decides to go after Land Rover, which is not out of the question, this could be a vehicle to be sold alongside the existing Genesis SUV portfolio. It's worth noting that Audi is rumored to be working on something to go up against Land Rover using the new Scout platform. Off-roading seems to be a hot thing these days. We know the Chinese are getting into it as well. So what the heck? Why doesn't Genesis go for it too? But officially not confirmed for production. So we will have to wait and see what they decide to do. Firefly is a new brand out of China, and it comes from NIO. NIO is the electric luxury EV startup that launched around 2017 or so. Last year, they unveiled Onvo, which is kind of a premium mid-range brand, and now they're here with Firefly, which is their new affordable EV. This vehicle is kind of comparable to the Mini Cooper, and it holds a position in the NIO portfolio that Mini does within the BMW portfolio. It is more entry-level. It's priced around the same point as the new Mini Cooper Electric that's sold in China and Europe. It will be sold through Onvo dealers, obviously because the Firefly at this point is just one vehicle, really not enough to justify its own dealer network. And like the Mini, the first Firefly is simply called Firefly. There's no other designation to it, at least not yet. And it only comes in the single 5-door body style that you see here. It's got the unique 3 lamp face up front, so it'll be easy to spot if it shows up in your rearview mirror. It starts at about $16,000 in China and will be eventually exported to Europe. It's expected to account for about 10% of NIO's volume, which is roughly what Mini accounts for within the BMW portfolio. Now, NIO, one of their kind of reasons for being is battery swapping. They charge at a reasonably fast rate, but we all know that it's a lot quicker to fill a vehicle with gasoline than it is to charge an electric vehicle's battery. And NIO's workaround is to swap a battery in about 3 minutes. They have done 60 million battery swaps since they went into business doing this. No fires, no calamities, no injuries. So it sounds complicated and it is capital intensive, but it does appear to work. So the Firefly will use NIO's battery swap stations, and they will offer a battery as a service starting in August. So you'll essentially buy the vehicle and lease the battery. So even though right now it starts at $16,000, if you get that battery as a service option, it'll come in even more affordable. It's driven by a rear-mounted 105 kilowatt motor, and there's a 42 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery pack. The range on the EPA cycle would be equivalent to about 195 miles. So again, too small for the US market, but probably not bad for Europe or for China. It's got a nice, clean, simple interior that's not all black. There's actually multiple shades of tan, so it looks light and airy. Lumo is their onboard digital assistant, just as NIO has their own digital assistant in their vehicles. And there's plenty of storage under the front seats and in NIO's first ever trunk. So overall, kind of a neat little start. You can see a little triple lighting unit set up at the back there. Again, creating a face and an image for the brand. We don't know yet what other vehicles will show up in the Firefly portfolio, so we'll have to wait a few years, but it seems to be a good start as NIO starts to broaden their footprint, and as still a money-losing entity, they are trying to get into profitability. That about wraps things up for AutoPerspectives this week. To learn more, please visit us at www.autoperspectives.net. And of course, as always, if you like what you see, subscribe and share. We'll be back here next week, likely with some hot news from the Shanghai Motor Show.